is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. And this is going to be fun. Our conversation today with Betsy DeGory. Doug Lockard is here as well as we talk about, well, a new partnership for IRMC and Concordia Health and VNA, Visiting Nurse Association, as they have been traditionally known. And Doug, of course, here from Howard Hanna Realty, we want to talk with him about a home for a cause, as we have spoken with him once before. But let's talk first with you, Betsy. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you with us here today.
Thank you.
This is a pretty exciting partnership, isn't it?
It really is. We're so pleased to be part of Concordia Community Services now. Mm-hmm. The delivery of health care, especially home health care, just gets more complex and more regulated all the time. And for our agency, we're here for 50 years, we turned to an even larger agency to strengthen our work here, to extend our reach. We've enjoyed the partnership with the hospital for a number of years. And now, since last year, we're part of Concordia. We're proud of 50 years in the community. Concordia has been around for 140. They're also a nonprofit, and we're very proud of our nonprofit mission.
Yeah, and with that, VNA is able to continue its very vital mission and even expand, I would assume, its services?
Yes.
What are some of the things that we'll be able to see that are real tangible things that we'll say, oh, that's because of?
Well, our clinical services are becoming more specialized. Now, that might not be something that the community would see, but certainly our patients are going to see that wound care and special therapies, all offered in the home. These are all for the benefit of our patients. We made more than 47,000 visits last year to 2,500 homes. So that will increase with Concordia's help and leadership. And we cast a wide net.
You certainly do. And when you throw those numbers out there, that's a pretty amazing statistical way to measure what VNA's influence is. But really, it's a really personal service, isn't it, that VNA is able to offer?
Glad to hear you say that. We touch a lot of lives. Yeah,
you really do. And you celebrate really well, too. One of the great things that we've always enjoyed with VNA, which now is Concordia-IRMC VNA, is the fact that you do this butterfly release every year. And it's just a really special moment, isn't it?
Oh, again, I'm glad to hear you say that. This is our 12th year. We bring a lot of families together to celebrate lives lost, to honor lives. This is the second year that because of COVID, we're doing the release in a drive-through basis. People can pick up their butterflies and release them at home. Some people go to the cemetery or to a camp, a special place. But we've had more of a response at this time than we ever had before. So we're glad that this still appeals to people. Folks are welcome to call our agency to learn more about that.
Yeah.
It'll be on Sunday, August 8th.
August the 8th.
At Mack Park.
So that's coming up pretty quick.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and so folks will be able to drive through at the Mack Park location and pick up their butterflies, and then they can do the release on their own. That's a very, very special thing. Let's talk with Doug Lockard this morning as well. Doug from Howard Hanna Real Estate. Doug, we talked about Home for a Cause before. Now there's this connection that you have with Concordia-IRMC VNA. Makes the program, gives it even more strength, I guess, is the way that I would put it. How would you characterize it?
It sure does. I think it's really an example of what Betsy said about the VNA, touching lives of the community. The home that we're renovating at 927 Oak Street was provided to us by Sean Harshman and the Harshman family with the specific request that the proceeds of the net sale after we've completed the renovations go to the VNA. The very reason for that request was the compassionate and caring services that they provided twice to the Harshman family back in the late 80s when the family's mother passed away after a long illness, and here more recently in 2016 when similar circumstances came up with their father.
Yeah.
So it's a classic example and a live example of why we're here, why our charity was put together, and how it's going to benefit from a direct example of the VNA's contributions and services to at least one family within the community.
We should pause here and let Betsy catch her breath after that, because that really is breathtaking what you just said, the way that VNA was involved in one family's life. That's one family, Betsy, one family that you affected in such a way that made them want to do something like that. It's amazing. Isn't it amazing?
The reverberations are endless. Mother Teresa said that.
Yeah.
One word, one kindness.
Yeah. Just a beautiful thing. So, Doug, tell folks how it works and how the progress has been since your last visit.
Sure. Basically, how it works is we created the charity. We're out seeking donations of material, labor, service talents, as well as cash donations to advance the rehabilitation, renovation, and ultimately then the sale of the home at 927 Oak Street, here in Indiana. We encourage your listeners to visit our website at ahomeforacause.org. Our information is also posted on the Concordia-IRMC sites to see how they may be able to help us achieve those goals. The progress on the house since I was last on your show continues at a steady progress. Most recently, there's a small addition to the home. The excavation work was done, some old sidewalks removed. I'll say the balance of the demolition work has been completed. We're now beginning the construction phase. Footers for the addition were installed last week. If not today, certainly this week, the foundation work will begin to get underway. And then we hope to begin window replacements and some more exterior work, so that members of the community driving by the property will begin to see a little more external progress.
Yeah. But materials and service are two things that you are in need of, and I'm sure that folks can help that. And again, you said it's ahomeforacause.org?
It is, ahomeforacause.org. We also have a Facebook page, and there's a phone number in our marketing materials. Anyone seeking information can reach out to us the traditional way or the electronic way, and we can direct them as to how they may be able to help us.
Yeah. I'm trying to understand what it must have felt like, Betsy, to get that first initial contact where they said, we're going to do this and we're going to do it for you, for your organization. What that must have felt like.
Oh, it was overwhelming. We have always relied on the community's support. We rely on charitable contributions to provide all the services that we provide. But a gift of this magnitude, the proceeds that are going to come from this project, plus the beautiful symbolism that it's a home, and that's where our services are provided, it just came together in a really beautiful way. Yeah.
Now, Doug described the way that this all came about, and the process of one family saying that this is what this organization has done for us down through the years. When we begin to understand, especially after those numbers you shared with us a couple of minutes ago, the way that lives are touched and how one life can be touched, and then you describe the number of lives that have been touched by VNA just in the course of the past year. It really is an indication of just how important Concordia-IRMC VNA is.
We certainly want to be here. We want to stay here. We want to grow. Even as big as we are and as many families as we help, we find that most people don't really understand what we do until they need us. And they need us at their most vulnerable times. Even when the prognosis, when the future looks great, people are being discharged from the hospital and they're going to be fine. But they're going home without the support that they need. And that's where we are in such a terrific partnership with the hospital.
Yeah.
They have terrific care there, and then they come home to the help that we can provide. Some people have long-term disabilities. They're not going to recover right away. And we also provide care at the end of life so that people can live on their own terms.
I'm sure that you and everybody else involved with the organization would love for folks to not have to wait until that moment of need when life is so stressful to learn about your organization, about Concordia-IRMC VNA. And there's a way to do that. And Doug mentioned your website. For folks who want to learn about the organization, maybe become involved in the organization, help out the organization in some way, what do they need to do?
Well, right now, our website is still vnaindiana.org. It's helpful to see the number of services that we have, but probably Concordia's website, and I'm sure if you just Google Concordia, you'll see the tremendous breadth of their agencies over several states. But sure, in the meantime, the website or call us about a referral.
Yeah, a simple call will do it. Beautiful. Betsy DeGory, Doug Lockard with us here this morning as we talk about Concordia IRMC, VNA, and about a home for a cause that's happening right now. So as we conclude our time together, and we'll move on to the CBS Sports Minute in just a couple of moments, Doug, again, the project, is there a timeline for when all of this is going to be done, or is it just dependent upon the pace of the work and the materials that are available?
It does, Doug. It depends on the availability of the labor and the skilled talents, that we need from local contractors. We are still challenged in the supply chain of some of the building materials and supplies. We're working as diligently and as efficiently as today's marketplace allows.
Yeah. So there you go. Indiana in the Morning listeners, you can help in this tremendously vital project, proceeds of which ultimately will help Concordia IRMC VNA. Betsy DeGory, Doug Lockard, thank you so much both for being with us today.
Thank you,
Todd.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, 101.1 FM and AM 1160.